All right, ladies. So today, this is gonna be the last topic of the day. I usually don't make videos on Wednesday night. I thought it was gonna. I thought today was Friday night. I don't know why. Holy shit, plans changed. Uh, so I'm gonna show you guys 5 reasons why guys are not chasing you. 5 reasons why guys don't really chase you as much as you think. Now we're not gonna use the excuse of looks, because the reason why is because every woman, at least at one point of her life, or at least a few times a year, gets guys who are after them. Every woman loses certain guys that they could have otherwise had if they didn't make these mistakes. You see, so these are the 5 reasons why you may be losing guys, and why they may not be chasing you as much as they would if you would change your behavior. All right, let's get started. So the first reason is you're too unhappy. I'm telling you, like, unhappiness is a primary reason why we have self-destructive behavior. Unhappiness, we use unhappiness and we believe that things will fulfill our unhappiness. That's why we collect. That's why we collect things. We collect achievements. We collect compliments. We collect people. We collect admirers. We collect comments. We collect memories just to fit the mode of the person we hope to become, or the person who we convince ourselves who we are, and that we constantly need validation in order to feed it, in order to remain alive inside of us. So a lot of women use men as their sources of happiness because they're unhappy. And so again, like I said earlier, they never really learned how to use their faculties on how to be happy. They never really learned how to self-generate happiness from their own. We have a factory inside each of every one of us that's being hindered because of our inability to handle and confront the pain that we all experience on a daily basis. And if you continually keep redirecting your attention to focus on men, to use them as your vessel of happiness, you're going to consistently be alienating them, because the vibe that you give off is going to be very unattractive. I'm telling you, like, it's one thing if you're moody, but it's one thing if your motivation to get with guys is because you're unhappy. Because when he begins to text you, what's gonna happen? You're going to text him back. You're gonna act more needy, and that's all because you're unhappy. And so, in addition to that, when you are unhappy, you begin to make decisions that are wrong. You begin to make decisions that are haste, that are in the moment. You're not thinking straight. So you're just looking for any guy that's gonna like you, any guy that's gonna give you the validation that you need. And so it's not in just being able to get them to chase, but you're also going to be rejecting the wrong guys, because you're going to be looking for the guys who validate you most. You see? So that's one reason why a lot of women, guys may not be chasing you, because you are unhappy. You have to begin to become your own source of positive emotion. And the way you do it is, like I always say, is to observe the emotion. Anytime you notice yourself being unhappy, ask yourself, am I trying to be happy right now? Am I trying to avoid pain right now? And then explore your inner state. Explore if you are actually trying to be happy right now, if you are actually trying to feel better. And then once you identify it through bringing your attention to the body, for 1 minute, ask yourself, what would it be like if I stopped trying to be happy for 1 minute, and become curious and experiment, and continually keep doing that throughout the day. And you're gonna notice that you're going to begin to be self-generating peace. You're going to be more at peace, you see. And when you see guys, you're not going to see them how you used to see them anymore. You're not going to be so reactive to them anymore. You're going to see them as people. And so you're going to behave more attractive. You're going to be more at ease. I'm telling you, that vibe is actually different, all right? A lot of my clients tell me that this actually worked. It's crazy how fucking effective this is, man. I'm telling you. Now, number 2, too masculine. What I mean too masculine, I mean you try to show off too much. You try to control things too much. You try to take control of the interaction too much. You don't want to give them any control. You just want to be in control. You want to make sure, because a lot of times we believe that if I don't control it, things don't go right. That's a habit a lot of people have. And so when I mean by women being masculine, it's not just in terms of controlling the dynamics, forcing yourself into the relationship, being aggressive and not letting the guy chase. It also means being too independent. Now, a lot of women are independent, like women who have a lot of money. They have the right to be independent, but a lot of guys are very sensitive about their masculinity. So that anytime they see a threat like, oh man, she makes more money, or oh man, she's more successful, it's a lot better to be more feminine and act like you're not as successful. Act like you don't make as much money. Try to tone it down so that he can feel a little bit better about himself. You see, try to make him pay for the date. Try to make him how can I say this? Act like you are the one that need him. Create a crisis. Be the feminine that needs a hero. You see, because if you are a successful person, I mean, you're gonna want to, like give. I mean, that's normal, right? That's normal. You want to give. You want to give something. You want to give a part of what you worked for. But the problem is that you're viewing it from your perspective. Men will be threatened by that. It is what it is. It is what it is. So you gotta play with that. Like, don't reveal how much you really make. You see, like even if you are a doctor, like don't try to tone it down. Don't try to sound too happy. Don't try to sound too independent. Don't try to sound too self-governing. You see, act like you need a man in your life. Act like you need him in your life. Like create little scenarios where he's the one that's there to rescue you. And if you don't do that, and you want to be self-independent, there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes you gotta let the guy control things. At least give him the illusion of control. Number 3, trying too hard. The reason why people try too hard is because they are uninformed of what attraction really is. Trying hard is, let me give him the attention. Let me tell him how much I love him. Maybe that'll help him out. That's not trying hard. I mean, that's not attractive. In reality, what really gets guys attracted is not trying hard. You see, because you think that, okay, last time the guy that I liked, I gave him my attention and he loved me for it. You see, so you begin to think that that's gonna work in every scenario. You see, you don't know. You're not expanding your knowledge to different ways of attracting people. Most people just have one way of doing things, and not because they thought about it proactively, but because they learned it through examples of their parents. Which most of the time they don't know. Most people don't know how to attract people, and most people have negative a negative concept of what it is to be attractive, which is being the victim mentality. And as a result, you not only learn through secondhand experience, but also through your own reactions. You begin to notice that your parents only pay attention whenever you capitulate to their demands. So suddenly you start thinking, okay, when I was a child, I got validation. I felt better when I did things for my parents and made them happy. Let me see what kind of girl he likes so I can make him happy. Hopefully he can validate me. You see? And so he doesn't give you the validation, so you try hard because you don't know any other way. You don't know any other way, right? You weren't subscribed to my channel before. You see, now you know. You see, so it's not about trying hard. Sometimes you got to do the opposite. Oh, I'm giving him attention. Okay, let me do the opposite. Let me not hit him up. Let me ignore him. And suddenly you're going to start seeing different results. A lot of times when you're trying hard, do the opposite and see what happens. Okay, don't force things. Number 4, holding on to the past. You see, a lot of the times when you hold on to things, that's because you expected something from them. You see, and again, that all comes down to your unhappiness. When you are unhappy and you see someone that makes and you see a promise of, oh wow, a relationship, oh wow, you my dream guy, you are unconsciously promoting them to the position of, you are responsible to make me happy. You see, so you have this unconscious expectation for people to make you happy. We all have this unconscious expectation for people to make us happy because most people are resentful towards the world. Most people are bitter. They expect to be treated good. They expect to be treated with respect, but they are the last ones that respect themselves. So you gotta learn how to become your own, not your own source of validation, but to begin to notice yourself putting those standards on people and ask yourself, am I trying to feel better by putting these standards on people? And then ask yourself, what would it feel like if I stopped trying to feel better for 1 minute? And notice how you're able to let go a little bit more. You see, it's because you're holding on to the past because it hurt and you don't want to process that pain. You don't want to confront it. Notice the pain that you feel both from holding on to the pain, and continually ask yourself, am I trying to avoid this pain? And then ask yourself, what would it feel like if I actually felt the pain for 1 minute without resisting it? And just become curious as to how that would feel like. And slowly but surely, the more awareness you bring into that pain, the more you'll be able to let go. You don't let go of the past through getting a new guy, you see, or through subscribing to my channel, you see. No, you don't let go through the past through thinking your way out of it. No, you use your awareness. you accept the things that happen, and then you're able to let go. And then what's going to happen is that by letting go of the past, the past leaves an emotional imprint in your body, right? That's what happens. Somebody hurts you, and suddenly you feel that hurt inside of you, and then you see someone and you hurt, and you're like, oh, I hope this better not happen again. This better not happen again, right? And so what tends to happen is that emotion begins. You don't even know this, but by simply saying, I hope this doesn't happen again, that emotion is acting through you. And you know what's gonna happen? That emotion is gonna find a way to recreate the scenarios to keep living through you. So you feel the emotion, I don't want to get hurt, and suddenly that same emotion is gonna make you get hurt. One way or the other, that's gonna happen. So the way to overcome this is not to overcoming it, but through succumbing to it and allowing it to flow through you, through not resisting it, and saying, what would it feel like if I just allow myself to feel how I feel right now for 1 minute and relax, and then keep doing that. And keep doing that. You're going to notice you're going to be able to handle it more. Your body's going to process it. And you're not even going to think about the past because your thoughts are fueled by your mental and emotional state. And by letting go and being at peace with your emotions, through being curious as how it would feel if you actually accepted that emotion, you're going to be able to think more clearly. You're going to see the person. You're not going to think of the past, but you're going to accept them for who they are. You would have already forgiven them. You see? You don't forgive someone, so as a result, someone who represents that person, which is the male sex, you're not going to forgive them. And then when they haven't even done anything to you, you create a barrier between you and the world, and you alienate people. You don't even know why. And that's because you're holding on to the past. So the fifth one is focus on the wrong things. You're focusing on the tactics. You're focusing on being happy. You're focusing on trying to impress them, but you're not focusing on having fun. You're not focusing on trying to fuck with them. You see, most people just focus on getting their own outcomes. Most people are focusing on trying to impress the guy. Why don't you just focus on trying to have fun? Because when you're focusing on trying to impress the guy, you suppress yourself. You're putting out the adult exterior. The adult exterior is only made of reactiveness. What's the adult exterior? Let me make sure I can capitulate to the society standards. I'm doing the wrong thing. You react to society. You react to society's morale, and you don't live by your own standards. You live by everybody else's standards. And that's why most people feel empty, because they're not living by their standards. They don't know what they want, so as a result, they feel unhappy and empty. So by focusing on the wrong thing, I'm talking about focusing on what people are telling you to focus on, giving the opinions, telling you, get this kind of guy, get that kind of guy. Hey, this makes you happy. Hey, having kids make you happy. Hey, having a boyfriend makes you happy. So as a result, you're really going about relationships from the wrong perspective, which is what? Taking. You see? So you're not giving, and you think you're perfect. But when you notice that you're just taking and taking and taking because you're so selfish and so self-consumed by your pain because you're not accepting it, then you're going to see that there's a reason why you're alienating guys, because you're not giving. You're sucking away, not from that perspective. You're sucking away their vitality, not from that perspective, but you're sucking away their self-esteem because you're demanding a lot from them because you lack. You think you lack. That's what the mind does. It finds fault in things when fault is not really there because it's of its own state of mind. You see? I'm talking a lot. I know I'm talking a lot, but generally speaking, focus on asking yourself, what would it like? How can I have fun right now when you're talking to a guy? How can I have fun? Because that's going to take you away from the attention from how can I impress them. Any action that comes from trying to impress them is usually not yourself. When you're having fun is when you're actually yourself. When you're having fun is when you're actually being playful like a child. You see? So when you focus on having fun rather than trying to impress them, suddenly you are going to be yourself. Rather than trying to be happy, you're going to be the expression of happiness, the embodiment of happiness. How can I have fun? It forces your mind to find ways to enjoy yourself in situations, which causes you to get out of your mind and just express yourself. Because when you're trying to impress them, that means you're trying to fit into a certain mode, and so you're really trapped in a little box, and you don't know how to move because you're trying to beat this person's perfect ideal. But rather, asking yourself, how can I have fun, forces you to find what makes you happy. And so you ask yourself, how can I have fun? Your behavior will change. Your behavior will be more loose, more youthful. You see, because you're having fun. You're not focusing on trying to impress them. You just focus on playing on gaming yourself rather than gaming the guy. You see, you'd be like, rather than saying, hey, he texts you, hey, how are you? And because you like the guy, you're like, oh, hey, how are you? But now you're having fun. You say, how can I have fun right now? Oh, nothing, just sad. I just saw a Little Mermaid, and that just depresses me. It really hurts my feelings when I watch Disney movies. How about you? And it doesn't matter his result, but you're just doing it because it's fun. So it doesn't matter what he does. The outcome is in you finding ways to have fun. You see, and so what's gonna happen is that he's gonna feel it. You're gonna feel the person's personality shine through when they're having fun. It's one of those things. It uninhibits you, and you're actually able to be yourself. Those positive emotions, it causes you to express yourself more. Those emotions, those positive emotions of having fun, and that exhilarating feeling you have when you're having fun, it promotes more of that behavior. You see, and it's gonna slowly change your personality if you're focused on you. If you're using that as a goal, which is being yourself. So rather than trying to impress the guy, ask yourself, how can I have fun? Anyways, this is Alex from mindfulattraction.org. I know I may have gone in circles in this video, but I hope you guys understood this video. And I hope you guys have a good day. And I'll see you some other time. Bye-bye.